Welcome to the #Attitudeshield podcast, the true mental operating script rewriting program designed for those looking for a change from within. No more hype or sugar-coated promises. This is to-the-point guidance on how to change the way we think to grab the life we always wanted. Are you ready for the change? Now your host, David L. Parker.
Hey, welcome to the next episode of #Attitudeshield. I am David L. Parker. I am glad you're here. It's early morning. It's dark. It's a wonderful, wonderful day here in the Black Hills of South Dakota, and I am fired up to be here. Hey, last couple 3 weeks, we've been talking about commitment. We're working on the 4 spokes of the Attitude Shield: belief, momentum, which brings motivation, which people have backwards, followed by commitment, and then the trackable plan. So commitment, what are we talking about with commitment? You know, this is a funny planet. When you look at the analytics of over 10,000 views a show, and you see that there's like 4,000 people who don't even watch for a whole minute. I know that's crazy, right? What kind of commitment is that? We are so fluttered of a human being. You have to be entertained. He's not saying something entertaining. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. Well, that's fine. Your commitment level to what you want to learn, your commitment level to change is terrible. Commitment is the actual glue that makes things happen. It's what actually gets the world turning, and most people don't get it. They don't get it. I'm in a committed relationship until the pretty redhead walked by, or I'm really committed to doing this, and the truck rusts through the ground sitting in the garage by the shop. People cannot be two things. You cannot be committed to something and lazy unless you're committed to being lazy. You know, when I used to weigh a lot of weight, people would tell me that it was a commitment to stay that way, and it was a commitment to change. And they were right. There's a commitment in every single thing we do. Now, there's a million amazing comments on commitment. I mean, Vince Lombardi, right? The quality of a person's life is directly proportioned to the commitment, to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field of endeavor. Well, of course it is. Your level of commitment. Most people don't even really understand commitment. They don't even really think about it, right? They don't really think that commitment means you have to be absolutely determined that something's going to happen. Commitment means that when you make a decision and you start moving forward with that decision, that no matter what happens, you're going to keep going regardless. You're not going to change tomorrow because the weather. You're not going to change directions because your relationship, somebody got grumpy at the other person. Commitment means that you're going to stay in something no matter what. It's like taking your bike and jumping off of a cliff on it. You're committed. There's no way out. That is exactly where you should be when you commit to something. Now, when you're going to build yourself a business, when you're going to get out of the employee rat race, when you're going to get out of the entitled employee want to have freaking everything given to them mindset and go out and build a business, go out and build a team, go out and build something that you can give back with. You literally have to jump off the cliff and build the airplane on the way down. Seriously, you got to be committed. Commitment is the absolute most important part of it. Okay, right now you're saying, what? Wait, he was saying something and he shifted and went crazy. We had technical difficulties. The whole world come crashing down. But I was committed. So I was talking about commitment. Commitment is staying involved with what you're doing. Commitment is driving forward. Commitment is the glue that makes things happen. You know, I've heard it said, desire is the key to motivation. We talked about motivation last week, but it's determination and commitment to the unrelenting pursuit of a goal, a target, a commitment to being the best at something, a commitment to success, a commitment to attaining a target. That's what enables people. That's what gets people there. That's what makes it happen. It's not anything other than that. It's the absolute level of commitment. I mean, I think about how people get so blown away when they meet somebody who's been married for 30, 35 years. How did you do it? Well, it's called they were committed, and the commitment was more important than the insecurities, the challenges, the ups and downs, the problems. You know, they realize that if you're going to stay committed to something, you're going to have to fight the same situation. To quote Margaret Thatcher, you may have to fight the same battle more than once to win. Right? Yeah, I know. Read books, change your brain. Who said, right? Commitment, you know, things don't change right away. But even the difficult things, when you commit to putting in the effort, will become easier. There's no way around it. But you have to commit to it. It's hard. It's challenging because we don't know how. We don't work together. We don't get a mentor. We don't get a coach. We don't get somebody that, you know, you've heard about accountability partners. I've always found them very interesting because they are great. They're great, and they help you do things, you know, because it's like when I first started the podcast, or go all the way back to when I was in my younger 20s and started my very first business. I learned that, you know what, you can poke at it. You can play business owner. You can dabble, if you will, in being an entrepreneur. But once you've made that commitment, then your blood will actually have a particular thing in it. And it becomes something that's hard to stop. You literally have to push on your commitment all the way to the point that it becomes no longer a decision. See, commitment means that you're not going to change your choice. Commitment means that you're not going to back up and do something else. Commitment means that you're not going to, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do this week and not that week. No, commitment means that people say, he worked for that company for 40 years. Commitment means that no matter how hard it gets, you keep staying in the fight until there's no fight. There's no fight because it's now in your blood. It's now part of who you are. It's now part of what you do. There's no way around it. There's no exceptions. You know, I like the difference between being interested in something and committed to something, because, you know, when you're interested in doing something, you only will do it when it's easy. You only do it when it's particularly simple. If you're interested, you poke at it, you prod at it. You don't really put effort into it. But when you're committed, you don't accept any excuses. You ever heard somebody getting ready to get ready? You ever heard people that are going to get around to it? I mean, it's just they're not ready to be there, right? You know, your life can be completely filled with constant and unexpected encouragement. Yes, your life can be filled with consistent and unexpected encouragement, because you're committed. Because you're committed. You can literally fill your life up with power, right? Tony Robbins said it, and it's right here on the wall. Wait, yep. Stay committed to your decisions. Stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible to your approach. See, there's a big difference between not being committed and being flexible. There's a big difference between realizing when it's time to pivot. Now, the next spoke of the 4 spokes we're going to talk about next week is a trackable plan. Now, part of the trackable plan is knowing when to pivot, knowing when to realize something right now isn't going where I want to. See, part of commitment to getting something done is changing your mindset from right and wrong. Well, that's wrong, and this is right. No, right and wrong is stinking thinking. What you have to do is look at what's working and what's not. See, that'll stop you. That'll get you off the couch. That'll change your perspective. When you're sitting around and you're going, well, I'm getting ready to do something. Or when let me back up. When you change your decision-making process, to thinking this way: what's working and what's not. And what's not working, I'm not doing anymore. When you change that, when you commit to what's working and what's not, mindset, and then commit to changing, getting rid of, adjusting, stopping doing anything that's not working. Now, one of the things I guarantee you is not working is you're procrastinating. You've actually committed to not doing anything. You've committed to waiting to the right moment. You've committed to not moving through the doors of opportunity. You've committed to not allow your vision to drive you forward. You've committed to being that person who's about to do something. About to do something. That's a commitment. Look, let's quote James Womack. Commitment unlocks the doors of imagination, allows vision, and gives us the right stuff to turn on our dream into reality. Dang Skippy. Dang Skippy. Listen, open the doors of your imagination. That'll help you with your vision. Dead on the money. You know, I tell people, just keep going. Chances are you'll trip and fall over something. Chances are you'll turn a corner and walk right into your freaking destiny if you stay committed to decision. You know, I've never heard of anybody sitting down on something, having something fall in their lap. I mean, you know, there's the old comment, well, you know, it sort of fell in their lap. No, it didn't. It didn't fall in your lap because you were doing something. You were making something. Now, remember, when it comes to commitment, it's always too early to quit. Always. Right? Always too easy to be quit. And I want to let you off the hook. I want you to be satisfied with the very best. That's right. Be satisfied with first class. Be satisfied with the Rolls Royce. Be satisfied with the multi-million-dollar lifestyle. Be satisfied with being in shape. Be satisfied with being successful. Now, wait. What is your definition of successful? You know, a lot of people love to quote, and I like it too, do the IPAs every day, income producing activities every single day. Agreed. You got to do something that produces income. But hey, guess what? Sometimes the income doesn't come today. Sometimes you got to build that up. Sometimes you got to build programs and platforms, training systems. You got to put things in place to get the dream to drive forward. You got to put things in place to pave the road to success, because it's a bumpy trees in the way, and it's like trying to cut through the forest. It's the road to success is not paved with asphalt, with signs that say, hey, turn left right here and you'll be successful. No, it's not the way it works. You have to stay committed to the fact that you may have to work hard. Wait, what? You will have to work hard, right? Period. Period, 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 period. You're gonna have to work hard. You don't. Every day somebody gives up on their dreams because they're not committed. Every day somebody gives up on what they were doing. Somebody forgets to keep going forward. It really does. They really do. I mean, that's hard for me to understand. It's hard for me to even sit here and talk about, because there's nothing more important to me than people figuring out how to succeed. There's nothing that I want more for people than to have the life they want. Earlier last week, when we talked about motivation comes from momentum, you always hear people say motivation is what gets you started. Commitment is what keeps you going. Close. True, very true. But we left off the part that you got to get movement first. You got to take a step. That step will help you motivate, and that motivation will keep you committed. But wait, it also goes this way. Your commitment will motivate your movement. So your movement motivates your commitment, but commitment motivates your movement. You have to get moving forward. You have to become obsessed. You have to be obsessed with your commitment to your success. You have to be willing to push through. It's really simple. You got to decide. You got to make a decision. Now, decisions based on emotions fail. You want an example? You ever got mad? Ever got mad and said, I'm never going to do this again. Damn it. I'm never going to do it again. Never, never, never gonna. Oh, look, shiny ball. So what I'm saying is, as soon as the emotion is gone, the commitment is dead. The decision died. You have to make a decision based on knowledge, a plan, and willingness to sacrifice to get there, then committing to that decision, because on the other side of that commitment is success. There's no way around that. The best commitment that you must keep is the commitment to you, what you're going to do. You must stay committed to you. You know, I talk to people, I coach several people. We're working together on their attitude shield, their business plan, where they're going, developing their business, growing themselves personally, growing their teams. And we talk all the time. And the only limit to your impact that you can have on people, the only limit to your impact you can have on organizations, regardless of your education or where you come from, the only impact is what is in your imagination and your commitment. I see these commercials, I see these things that are trying to tear people down. Because you're this, you get less of that. Because you're that, you get less of this. Because you came from here, you have no choice. Because you came from there, you have no choice. Because you did this, you were given it. It's all a lie. Every single person who's ever been successful fought through their own fight. Every single person who ever became successful committed to continue going, no matter what the media said, no matter what mama said, no matter what their friends said, no matter what the world said. They kept going, period. End of story. There's nothing around it. I mean, how many times have you seen the picture of like superstars like Michael Jordan, I apologize, jumping up and shooting a shot? Commit. Right? Mental freedom. Freeing your mind comes from commitment, not running from it. Freeing your mind, freeing who you are, comes from commitment. It comes from sticking with the commitment, honoring the commitment, fulfilling the commitment, whatever you want to do, not running from it. Well, it's hard this week, so I'm not going to do it. My girlfriend pissed me off this week, so I'll find a new one. My boyfriend's a jerk. I don't like this job because I'm worth a lot more than this job pays me. No, yes. No, yes. Yes, you are worth more than the job, but no, the job doesn't pay more. See, people get that. People are committed to being successful, but they're not committing to understanding anything. If you take a job that pays $12 an hour, that's what the job pays. That's not what you're worth. You got to commit to getting above that. You got to commit. Committing is pushing yourself when nobody else is around. You see anybody here in the studio? Nobody's here. I'm committed to be here. I'm committed to put this on. I'm committed to talk to you. I'm committed to teach Attitudeshield. I'm committed to help thousands of people change their lives, to get that operating script changed, to get it adjusted to where when they plug in to the really big guys, the John C. Maxwell's, the Tony Robbins, the Dean Grazios, that they got the baseline of information in their head so they can take that higher level and push it even farther. I believe everything they say. I'm committed to what they do. Listen, success comes from being committed to making a small effort, little sums of small effort, repeated day in and day out. Day in and day out. Repeated day in, day out. If you're committed, there's always a way to succeed. If you're committed, there's always going to be a path. There's always going to be the ability. There's always, if you're committed, 100% of the time, there is a way to succeed if you're committed. If you're committed to being successful, you're going to get there, because commitment means you don't quit. Commitment means it's too early to quit always. People quit. Commit to something. I get a kick out of it. People get into businesses and, they get into network marketing, multi-level marketing, direct affiliate sales. They get into a business that, one, doesn't take a building for the norm. Two, doesn't take a lot of employees or any for the norm. All it takes is their individual effort, but they won't commit to talking to 1 or 2 or 3 people a day. They won't commit to the small things that it takes. They won't commit to reading a book a week. They won't commit. Just won't commit. They just won't commit. They won't commit to doing the little things. Everybody wants to win the Super Bowl, but they don't want to go do the workout when it's dark outside and it's cold. Everybody wants to win the Daytona 500, but they're not out driving laps in the middle of the night. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, but they're only willing to do $10 an hour worth of work. Everybody wants to be successful, but they're not willing to plug into somebody. They're not willing to put down their way of thinking to grasp onto somebody else's thoughts. There's somebody else who's committed and shown success. They're not. You don't commit to success. That's what's happening. We're not committing to being successful. We're not committing. Are you committed? You got to be committed to the result and flexible in the approach, flexible along the road, flexible, able to pivot, able to turn around for a second if you need to, able to duck, able to uppercut, able to fight through. What are you committed to? What are you committed to? Write it down.
You've been listening to Attitudeshield, your double dose of espresso for your attitude. Check us out on Facebook and on the web at www.attitudeshield.com. Again, thanks for spending this time with us. Between now and when we talk again, keep those shields up, eyes on the target, and always be moving towards your dreams.